Hi, I'm Stephen Kelly and welcome back to my World Cup vlog. I'm joined again by Simon Barber and we're going to be discussing some of the highlights, lowlights and the best bits of the World Cup so far. So, Simon, thank you for joining us once again. Who's been the best team in the World Cup so far?
You've got to say that probably the best team has to be probably Holland or Germany from the performances they put in. I've really enjoyed watching Australia though.
I think they've been very unlucky to come up against, great teams.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I totally agree with that, and I just think they've been really exciting. But yeah,
I think there's been a lot of teams that have shown flaws. Argentina didn't look as strong as they might have looked. Spain have obviously back on the plane,
exactly,
pretty much. Portugal, atrocious.
Didn't turn up. Yeah,
I'd be intrigued to see Germany play a team that are going to challenge them a bit, or at least have a go, because Portugal were poor.
You'd expect Portugal to have given them a game. So the fact that they totally shut them down.
But do you think that was because Germany were good or Portugal were bad? I think Portugal were bad.
Yeah, I would say definitely that. But you always feel like Germany are going to score goals. And that same argument, I suppose, could be had with the Dutch team, because you would say that them having absolutely outperformed, outclassed Spain was a really big deal and a big indicator that they're in top form. But then Chile beat them, so maybe they're not the team that we think they are.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't difficult to beat them. So in which case, maybe you have to look at someone like Italy, who play that different type of football that can keep the ball and can prevent other teams from scoring against them. It's just whether they've got enough about them to score goals to beat teams. Balotelli stays fit. I thought he looked really dangerous against England at times. That bit of play that he had on the edge of the box where he chipped Joe Hart. I mean, God knows what Joe Hart was doing, but
yeah.
And Jagielka cleared it off the line. A player that's got that awareness about him is possibly all you need on a break when you've got players that can find him.
What do you think of Brazil so far?
I expect them to ramp it up as the tournament goes on.
I think they'll develop. I think they weren't great against Mexico, but also you've got to remember that the Mexican keeper had a phenomenal game.
He really did. Yeah.
Game of his life.
Let's be honest. That header
could have been 3-4-0.
Neymar's header should have been a goal. He did nothing wrong. So yeah, aside from a Superman performance from the keeper, then yeah, Brazil have had 2 wins. So yeah, it's really difficult to call, and I'd probably, if I had to put my money anywhere right now, maybe I'd say Germany, just because you expect them to be there or thereabouts always.
Yeah, it's good that it's so open. So, moving on, best game so far for you?
I really enjoyed the first Australia game. I thought it was really open. Both teams were trying to score goals. It was end to end, really exciting. There could have been many more goals in it. In fact, I really enjoyed Australia's other game as well.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed both of Australia's games.
They're playing entertaining football. They're having a real go. I don't think anyone expected them to sort of have that much appeal, but they're attacking teams. They're going at teams.
Just having a go, and that's what you want to see. Holland against Spain were unbelievable. It was a great game, just purely because they were so good. It's been a really free-flowing, attacking World Cup, and that's what's been really nice.
There's been a lot of goals, haven't there?
Yeah.
There's been, I think, 2 0-0s and not many sort of low-scoring winners. There's been 2 or 3 or 4 goals in a lot of games.
Apparently, the Dutch have scored more goals in their first 2 games than Spain scored winning the World Cup.
I heard that stat. But then, in winning, apparently I heard that in winning both Euros and the World Cup, they only conceded 6 goals, and they conceded 7 in 2 games.
2 games. says it all, doesn't it? But
Says
that
it
also
all.
it also tells you something about the sort of teams that win major football tournaments, and defence is key. So I go back to my point about maybe Italy standing a good chance of winning this World Cup.
Okay, and moving on, we're now going to discuss the best goal of the tournament so far. What do you think?
I think there's a few contenders. There's been a few decent team goals. I would say Chile's last night was an excellent goal.
Yeah.
A really nicely worked goal. Good passing football. They made good footballing decisions in that goal. When it came into the box, nobody panicked. Passed the ball rather than taking a snapshot.
He's looking good, Sanchez, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but Vargas, when he finished it, took that extra touch, past Casillas. Casillas was totally lost, put it in. I mean, it was a really good goal. And you've also got to put Cahill's goal in there as well. I mean, it was a super finish.
I mean, I said to you before we started filming that if Cahill's goal had been scored by someone in a bigger, better team, I think it'd get a lot more credit and kudos than it does or
yeah.
has.
I mean, you can't deny Tim Cahill's influence on that squad of players. And you talk about big.
He's integral, isn't he? Really.
Yeah, you talk about big players performing for their team, for their country, and it seems like he's never let that side down, and he always performs. He always scores goals, and he's a surefire bet to do well when he plays for Australia. Best goal of the tournament goes. I think you have to say it. It's got to be Van Persie's goal. The timing, the finish,
technique,
the improvisation, the way he judged the flight of the ball. It took a lot for it all to work.
combine together.
It was totally unconventional. You're not supposed to get ahead of the ball like that. If the ball's coming from that distance, then there's nothing to say that you should even put your head on it. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, in the position he was in and the trajectory of the ball, he probably had time to chest it, maybe take a touch on his foot, take it round the player, or let it come across him and hit it on the volley. But the
genius, isn't it?
The presence of mind he had to just
rise like a salmon,
launch himself at the ball, and to header the ball in that way. Yeah, I think it's probably goal of the tournament already. If we see a better goal than that, then crikey, it'd have to be some goal.
It's the worst moment so far.
I think we've seen that very recently. What was Alex Song doing?
I don't know. It's bizarre. A bizarre attack on another man.
One of the weirdest things I've seen in a long time.